This is the third and final lecture in topic 2 of your summer assignment. It's going to deal with the regions of the periodic table, mostly, not really the trends, but mostly the regions of the periodic table and the things that those regions have in common. As usual, make sure that you have already begun your learning targets in your notebook, that you have already described some of the differences between Mendeleev's periodic table and ours, that you've sketched and are able to tell me where all of these different regions are, etc., and that you know the properties of metals and metalloids and nonmetals. Quickly, we will go through some of this, but this is going to be a pretty quick lecture. I think most of this should be review for you. You just want to make sure that you're memorizing what you need to so that you can speak the language. So if you've already done your learning target notebooks, then you can go ahead and add to them as you watch the lecture. So on here, we definitely need to make sure that you are comfortable with the regions of the periodic table. So the few things that we split them up as sometimes would be like main group elements, which would be groups 1 and 2. It's basically the S's and the P's. So it'd be groups 1 and 2A, and then groups 3A through 8A. Okay, those are your main group elements. Otherwise, then we have transition elements, which are these transition metals here. And then we have the inner transitions, which fit, it's really in here. And College Board tries to stay away from using lanthanum and actinium because periodic tables all organize these elements a little bit differently. You'll remember in first year chem we often said that this was the beginning of this series down here and that these two sat up here. So they try to stay away from things that could be questionable like that, but you definitely need to know main group versus transition and inner transitions. You should also know things like the alkali metals. Oops, I need to change colors, sorry. The alkali metals and the alkaline earth metals. There is no such thing as an alkali earth metal. It is alkali and alkaline earth. Make sure that you know that. And then your noble gases and the halogens. These would be the most important group names for you to know. You should also memorize where this metalloid line is beneath boron and down and across and down and across. You should know the ones that are metalloids that fit next to that line, and then kind of just be aware that we would expect that you know that, right? That aluminum is not a metalloid, and that pretty much we stop at tellurium. Some books include polonium, others do not, so pretty much College Board stays away from that because they don't like questions, things that you could argue with them about. So you should be comfortable with the vocabulary, the names and the regions, especially some characteristics of these. That should be a part of what you already have in your notes. We do want to put it all together, what we learned about nuclide symbols in the last lecture and the regions of the periodic table, and that's what these questions here are designed to do. So you might find it helpful for you to copy the question and then to try it yourself. I'll do one with you, and then you can try the others and stop the video and come back and check. So let's see what we got. So Z, remember, is atomic number. All right, so atomic number 14. I have stuff written all over my periodic table. Let me kind of clear this off. Atomic number 14 is here. That would be silicon. And so we would say silicon with 14 protons. We're not going to add the mass number because we don't know the isotope that we're talking about. And so we want to make sure that we're careful with that. So this would be silicon. And it's in group 4A or 14. Remember, groups are columns. And it's in period 3. Remember, periods are rows. And then we were going to classify as main group metal, transition metal, etc. So silicon is a main group metalloid. All right. Excuse me. A main group metalloid. As such. So this is how you're going to do this, right? So go ahead and stop the video and try it for these two, and then come back and I'll walk you through it as you check it. Okay, so atomic number 55 is right here. This would be cesium. Cesium is, its symbol would be CS55 in the lower left-hand corner. And it's in group 1 or 1A, and it's in period 6, and it is a main group metal, specifically an alkali metal. And then 54 is right before it as xenon, and xenon is Xe as its symbol, Xe54 in the lower left-hand corner. It is in in group 8A or 18 and period 5, and it is a main group noble gas, or a main group non-metal, which is more specifically a noble gas. Okay, so you can do the same thing now. Hopefully, if you need to, you can try again. I'm going to let you stop the video and try these again, and then I will come back and give you the answers. So you're doing the same thing: the name, the symbol, the group, the period, and main group, metal, transition metal, intertransition metal, etc., non-metal metalloid. So stop the video, try these three, and then restart the video. Okay, so I'm actually going to do A and B for you, and then ask you to put your answers to C in the final question on this video. So make sure that you know what you're doing. So for Z equals 12, atomic number equals 12, we're talking about magnesium. So magnesium is Mg with a little 12 in the lower left-hand corner. It's group 2 or 2A, it's period 3, and it is a main group metal, more specifically an alkaline earth metal. A Z of 7, an atomic number of 7, is here, that's nitrogen, and it is in group 5A or 15. It's in period 2, and it is a main group non-metal, and we don't really talk about the group name for that. And then finally, go ahead and you right now make sure that you've done a Z equals 30 yourself, and type your answers into the question at the end. Thanks. I hope this was helpful for you. It should be a review. It's pretty straightforward.